Nobody has ever done it. Not Pelé, not Ronaldo, not Maradona, nobody. Messi just did it at 39 years old. 7 consecutive World Cup matches with a goal. The record did not exist before Saturday night. It exists now because one man, 3 days after turning 39, coming off the bench as a substitute, curled a free kick into the bottom left corner at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, and rewrote history one more time. The crowd of 70,649 people in the home of the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most famous stadiums in America, had been chanting his name since the second half started. They chanted before he touched the ball. They chanted before he even walked to the touchline. When Lionel Messi stepped onto the field in the 60th minute, the roar was audible outside the stadium. For a man who had already broken the all-time World Cup scoring record, who had already scored in 6 consecutive World Cup matches, who had already done things at this tournament that no 39-year-old has any business doing, the crowd wanted more. He gave them more. Argentina had already beaten Algeria and Austria in the group stage. 6 points, 2 wins. First place clinched before a single ball was kicked against Jordan. Their coach Lionel Scaloni made 9 changes to the starting lineup. Messi was not in that starting lineup. He came on in the 60th minute, replacing Lautaro Martinez, who had already scored on a penalty in the first half. Jordan had pulled one back through substitute Musa Altamari just minutes earlier, and the stadium was suddenly alive in a way it had not been before. And then came the 80th minute, a free kick just outside the penalty box. Messi stepped up. He struck the ball low, almost along the ground, threading it between 2 defenders in the wall, bending it perfectly into the left corner of the net. The goalkeeper never moved. It was his 6th goal of this World Cup. It was his 19th goal in World Cup history, extending his own record that no man or woman in the history of this tournament has come close to matching. And it made him the first player in the entire history of the FIFA World Cup to score in 7 consecutive matches. Let that number sink in. 7 in a row, across multiple tournaments, across multiple opponents, across a career spanning 6 World Cups and 20 years of the highest level of football ever played. The previous record was 6 consecutive matches with a goal. Nobody had reached 7. The record had survived decades of the greatest players on earth. Pelé could not reach it. Ronaldo Nazario could not reach it. Cristiano Ronaldo could not reach it. Gerd Müller could not reach it. Not one player in the history of this sport managed to score in 7 straight World Cup matches. Until Saturday night in Arlington, Texas. Now, here is what makes this even more staggering. Messi turned 39 years old on June 24th, 3 days before this game. He came into this World Cup dealing with muscle fatigue in his hamstring. He was not supposed to be here at this level. He was not supposed to be doing this at this age. He has scored in every single Argentina group stage game. A hat trick against Algeria, a brace against Austria, a free kick against Jordan. All of them as a 39-year-old. All of them at the 6th World Cup of a career that has lasted longer than most players' entire professional lives. But this story does not end in the group stage. Argentina's next game is on July 3rd at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, the home city of Messi's club Inter Miami. Their opponent is Cape Verde. You may have seen the other video on this channel. You may already know the story of Vozinha, the 40-year-old goalkeeper from a country of 500,000 people who went from 50,000 Instagram followers to 14 million after stopping Spain. The goalkeeper who wept on the field and said he thought about quitting but continued because of this dream. That goalkeeper now has to stop Lionel Messi. Think about what this means. The greatest player in the history of the sport, scoring in 7 consecutive World Cup matches at the age of 39, is about to face the most beloved underdog story of this entire tournament, in Miami, in front of an American crowd that has been watching both of these stories unfold in real time on American soil. This is not a football game. This is the kind of story that gets told for decades. And here is what nobody is saying out loud, but everyone is thinking. Messi has 6 goals this tournament. He leads the Golden Boot race by 2 goals over the chasing pack, a gap that grows every time he steps on the field. If he keeps this pace, if he scores in the round of 32, in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals, he is not just breaking records anymore. He is building a monument. Every goal from this point forward is history being written live. Every free kick, every touch, every moment he enters the field is something the 70,000 people in the stadium will describe to their grandchildren. Americans who bought tickets to a summer soccer game, people who had never followed football before this tournament, are now part of something they will never forget. The 2026 World Cup is happening in this country, in these stadiums, in these cities. And the man at the center of all of it, the man rewriting every record that was thought to be permanent, turned 39 years old last Tuesday and scored in his 7th straight World Cup match on Saturday night. There are no more words left to describe what Lionel Messi is doing. There is only watching and remembering and being grateful you were here for it. Had you ever thought you would watch a 39-year-old become the first player in history to score in 7 consecutive World Cup matches, live, in an American stadium, during a tournament on American soil? And when Messi faces Vozinha and Cape Verde on July 3rd, do you think the streak reaches 8? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the World Game, and I'll see you in the next story.